Hello there, and most welcome to your number one compelling conversation platform. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. John F. Kennedy. Well, you're most welcome to Star Chat, where legacies are honored, stories unfold, and voices that shape the world ahead. Tonight on the show, we are joined by a man whose life reads like a masterclass in vision, resilience, and transformation. A man who's actually turned dust into destiny and dreams into dazzling developments. We get to celebrate him on the show tonight. A celebrated Ghanaian entrepreneur, a towering figure when it comes to real estate, and a business mogul whose footprints are etched across industries from construction to aquaculture, beverages, to agriculture and beyond. As the executive chairman of JL Holdings, he doesn't just build structures, he is building legacies. And yes, I need to add, he's the man of the year, the Emmy Man of the Year 2024. My guest is the mastermind behind one of Ghana's greatest urban SAPs, if you want it, the man who's actually converting a former dump site and a quarry in Achimota into one of the country's cleanest and most prestigious gated communities. We're sitting down with him, with the one and only, the man who's actually delivered excellence brick by brick. You're most welcome, Dr. James Orleans-Lindsay. How are you?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you in living color. How are you doing?
Perfect.
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 I can tell. You look good, you feel good, and you're living the life.
Well, I feel good as long as I touch lives. That's the most important thing. For me, in all honesty, the money is secondary. What matters most is how many people whose lives you change. And that is, for me, that is the greatest gift I can give to humanity.
Isn't that profound? So money is secondary. This is the second time I'm hearing this in a week. Sam Jonas said, same. He says, character is currency. And you've actually said, so your life is about impact. And that's why we're sitting down with you. We'll talk about your days from St. Augustine's College, then to St. Peter's, then how you read Biochem at KNUST, and now you're into real estate. It's only on Star Chat. My name is Bolare, and our guest is Dr. Lindsay, right here on Star Chat. Proudly brought to you by MTN, everywhere you go. And Star Assurance. We are live in Takrady on Empire 102.7 FM, also in Kumasi on Ultimate FM 106.9. Well, we're here once again. Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Right.
It's always good to see you.
It's always good to see you as well. So tell us, how has life been for you, James? How has it been?
It has been.
Let's go back.
It's been a day at a time. Every day I try to take one small step towards my aim, and that has been my plan, day in, day out. You know, I've done a lot of school in Catholic schools.
That's right.
Yeah, I did equivalent of Christ the King in Kuferi Madonna School. There were two similar schools by the Catholics.
Okay.
And I did St. Peter's Secondary School, you know, managed by German Catholics. When I say this, when I do this distinction, people don't understand. The German Catholics will tell you, learning is everything, hard work is key. So you're taught to be an individual. Those are some of the things that when I go to St. Peter's, I try to tell them all the time, we need to change that narrative. Those years, that was the norm, it was important, life has changed.
Right.
Then because of my heritage, I am a royal. I was destined to become the Omahine of Cape Ogwa traditional area. My mother was the queen mother.
So you're from a royal lineage?
Yes. My mother was the queen mother too. That is basically, in fact, I'm from a suburb called Intutu in Cape Coast, where the queen mother comes from. Down the street is Fikesim, where the Omahine comes from. And it is always an interchanging situation. And so I had to go back to St. Augustine's College, where I would learn from the American Catholics. They in fact were managing St. Augustine's College then.
Okay.
Even
So from the German Catholic school now to the American Catholics. We'll come back and we'll talk about your formative years and all of that. But, you know, when I was getting into your office, I saw something profound. And it talks about your life being about grace. Like you said, some people carry exceptional favor as a gift from God.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is a waste of time to fight them or try to pull them down.
Exactly.
It's a level of grace. How profound this is, and what does it mean?
So you can accept it or not, but the fact is that Bible believing Christian tongue blasting, yes, of course. Basically, I am a dynamic Christian, so you still see me at Soho, and I do my thing, everything.
You go to your nightclubs, you go to your
I'm
party.
Dynamic Christian, but grace is something that is so important to me.
I love that.
Well, I'll be very honest with you. And when I say this, people think I'm just saying it because the situation requires it. No, I don't know how I make $1 profit.
You don't?
I don't. For me, anytime people will ask me, Chairman, how's business like? I said, well, the point is that the only difference I see is that every day I make progress. Wow. And so that is where my mother before me, may her soul rest in peace, said, greater grace. You see, so grace does not work. But the fact is that because I do all these hours, I do 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening.
8 to 8, 12 straight hours.
I take 1 hour break. I am among the first to come to work. I'm basically among the last to leave the office every single day when I'm in this jurisdiction, unless I've traveled. Wow. And the point is that I'm the one person who can travel, do 6 hours journey by flight, go to London on a Friday evening, land on Saturday morning, and come back Sunday because I want to meet a Monday.
Wow.
I do it all the time.
You know, these are key lessons in entrepreneurship and in business. And for the younger ones listening, it takes, yes, the grace of God, but the discipline is also key.
Because grace does not work in a vacuum.
That's right.
It needs a medium. And the medium is hard work.
I love that.
So once you combine those two things, the sky is the limit.
So you believe that, yes, grace abounds in everything that we do and we shouldn't take it for granted?
No, never. Never. You can't get the grace, but if you don't do the hard work, it's zero. That's the thing. And so for me, the principle is always the same.
You're a product of grace.
I'm telling you.
And you don't seek to say, I want to make $1 million this year. You take it a step at a time and you feel that it will happen.
I take it a step at a time. What I do is that I always set out to do good companies.
Right.
And those good companies will churn out the profit. And you have to know your team. You know, I say it, and then my male colleagues, I call all my workers my colleagues, would fight with me. I say, look, my strength is with my female staff.
Wow.
Because the focus is different. We, the male employees, are different. The female colleagues.
So you believe in employing a lot of female staff as compared to men because you believe that they get a job done well.
I really think so. I really think so. You see, and that is basically up to you, the person. You should know. So one of the things I say to myself and I tell people, look, staying true to yourself is a cherished value. Me, Bola, I don't know how to dance like you do. I don't know how to sing like you do.
Yeah.
So I don't set out to copy you, but I know how to think.
That's right.
If you bring your issue to me, I'll strip it all the way down,
tear it down, and then fix it.
We can rearrange it. That is my strength. I like to learn every single thing, everything.
We'll come into it and we'll talk about how you got into real estate and all of that as a biochem, student now getting into business. But I can safely say that you own over 500 homes here in Ghana. Is that true, or even more?
Yeah, I've done 1,800 homes in this
city. You've done 1,800 homes.
I've sold a bit of them. I've rented a bit of them.
Wow.
Presently, we are doing 600 new 2-bedroom apartments at the same time. That's the strength.
Simultaneously, you are doing 600 homes.
That's the strength of my team.
Wow.
And it's not me, in all honesty. Look, when you come to us, you find Kweku Abebrese, Solo, you find these people, you find Ishmael, Ishmael Komi and the rest. slaving it away for God at this company. Wow. You get my point?
But because they believe in the dream as well.
Believe in the dream. And those are things, look, Bola, you have no idea the daily fights I have. I'll have, browse with almost everybody. My Akosha will tell you it's crazy being with me. One moment I'm smiling, the moment
you're off.
Yeah, but it's all because you see, people have tied their very destiny to my own. And for me,
is that a normal practice? Because for many people, they feel that an entrepreneur should not get angry or flip, but that's when you get the job done. Yes, you can be the nicest person, but when it comes to work, you don't have to joke with it.
You see, because people have turned poverty into a model, a business model. No, the point is that if people have tied their clothes to yours, you need to understand that from the onset, there's no nobility in poverty, and that those are the things that you have to understand. My father before me, may his soul rest in peace, will say to me, Atulinse, when he says Atulinse, then he means business. Says, look, make sure every day there's something small in your pocket.
That's right.
Because when you don't have, that is where you see real trouble.
Do you come from a rich background, or were your parents that rich, or do we say they were average?
The point is that I come up from a family that have.
Okay.
The Lindsays would have, the Selbys would have. In fact, I don't know whether you are aware of this. My great-grandfather was the first person to go to Oxford University. It's called Philip Kweku.
Oh, right, Philip Kweku. Yes, the great Philip Kweku. The education is like, oh, wow.
He's my lineage direct.
Okay.
And then he would set up the first school in Ghana, Philip Kweku Boys, as you are aware.
Right.
And so these are things that, but.
So you're a privileged child?
No, because I didn't ride on any of that.
You didn't?
Yes. This is the first time I'll say it on record.
Please.
My father would lose everything before he died, because of the numerous schools he went through and all that. So it's a lesson for me. I don't take anything for granted. You see, but he will leave a very, very good name. If you mention my father's name,
Atulinse.
No, my father is John Lindsay.
John Lindsay.
Yes.
What was he into?
He was into construction.
Okay.
And then my father's big brother was Ahumka Lindsay.
Oh.
Workers' Brigade and all that. So basically, when you mention the Lindsays or you mention a Selby, you get an advantage here and there. But nobody, that is why I believe in grace. None of my family people would say, get this and start a business. Nothing.
You didn't get that? No handout?
Nothing.
Interesting.
So that is why I believe in the grace. The grace is an interesting and a lovely word to me. And if you decide to choose that too, I can assure you, without any equivocation, that it will work for you.
It will work for you,
yes.
Indeed. So from biochem to business, your journey is anything but conventional. At what moment did you realize, James, that look, this is it for me, real estate entrepreneurship is my true calling?
I wanted to be a pilot. So when I was in Form 5, I'll pick the Newsweek from the floor somewhere, fill the form to Cessna Piloting School in Florida, Daytona Beach somewhere.
Yeah.
And then I'll get admitted. Then I go to my dad and say, listen, this is the school fees. We went at dawn. Those days, you and your mother will go to see the old man at dawn in his room.
Correct.
And then we went all going to plead and all. Say, listen, this thing is supposed to be your son's way to his dream. He looked at me, shook his head and said, the next moment, me and my mother should be out of his room. Strange, but true. The reason being, have I told you that is what I want you to do? Wow. And then he says, you know who a pilot is? I said, no, Papa. He says, a pilot is a driver in the air or in the skies. I don't want a driver in the skies. That was all his reason. Anyway, so in 2002, there was a naive young man who came to Accra, Ghana, was building his own house Then fast forward, a white boy from the UK was on retirement. Said he would buy the house. 66,000 the white boy will pay this young man, this naive young man. Fast forward, this naive young man will build 2 houses with it.
Out of that.
Yes. And then after selling the 2 houses, we built 4 houses, shell and core. And then that was the story. Fast forward, this naive young man by 2021 would become a matured man building several houses a year, 200 and over.
A year?
A year.
Wow.
Then will become arguably the finest residential builder in the city. And that much
From that one home that you were building to live in.
that young man is this matured man. And so the story, although was a coincidence, my father really was a perfectionist in the construction industry. And he would build anything to perfection. But he was doing a lot more of government projects. So I picked it from home. And then basically one thing led to another. And when I set myself to do something, I want to finish. So I built a lot of houses in the west of Accra.
Where did you start? Where did you first acquire a land to say, well, let it go into residential, homes? I mean,
So basically, I would do over 200 houses in the west of Accra.
all residential units.
All residential units. My strength is in residential units.
Okay.
But you see, that is why I tell people, learn from those who've led the way. Years ago, if I had listened to a few people then in real estate, I wouldn't do west of Accra. Accra is divided into 2 with an imaginary line. The road from Nsawam, the Nsawam Road all the way to Jamestown divides Accra right into 2. Everything on the east is more expensive than the west. So when you go to Adabraka, you cross the traffic light to Official Town. Everything on the other side of Adabraka, where we have Glenn's nightclub, all the way up, is more expensive than any
across.
Strange but true. So these are real issues that you will not learn from the
Any
classroom.
regrets starting from the west and not the east?
No, it taught me a good lesson that you need to listen. In fact, the person who told me, but Atu, why don't you come this way? Just build a few. I just started, build a few at a time. In fact, in my head, I said he was the most wicked, destructive person. He doesn't want me to succeed.
Wow.
I've told him the story before. I've told him, look, I apologize to you, although I didn't say it in your face.
Oh,
That's
you
the
done
way
it?
I am,
Okay.
yes.
Wow.
I try to be as open and
as-
transparent
yeah.
as possible. But then I have become the biggest residential
That's right.
developer. Thanks to his advice, I would move over later on. But it's been a journey,
It's been a journey.
a good journey.
Indeed. Talking about journey, I mean, from transforming a dump site where we are now into a prestigious estate, it's legendary. Tell us about this story. Maybe for the first time, let's get to know what mindset or philosophy guided you
So
to
I,
say, yes,
So, but I see things that ordinary
don't-
person would not see.
you have a third eye.
No, in real estate, I can see. That's why my specialty and my team, the team I manage at the JL Holdings, that's why we are special in the business. I see things people don't see. So I would, let me tell you a story, but I'll bring my missus to this side of town. And that time, here was a disused quarry side, dump site, a den of criminals and everything. In fact, even when I was driving her here, she was so afraid. Then I said, well, I'm going to change this place to the nicest place and all that. I had all these nice drawings. And she's a woman of few words. She didn't say much. But then recently when she was enjoying the awards and smiling and all that, she said, oh, you know something? That day I didn't sleep. I wept all night that you're going to
Taking
waste
this risk.
our savings. I say,
Wow.
So these are some of the things that I do. Isabella, what it is that we would always set out at jail to do the project and do it well. So you see nice roads around this,
Right.
my estates. A lot of them are done by myself, by jail, because we are really not thinking so much about the profits. We are thinking about doing it and doing it well. There's a road around the Achimota estates that we would always rehabilitate ourselves. Public road.
So you don't wait for government to do it. You go in there as your contribution to society.
Yes, and then
Impressive.
we'll do underground drains. All our drains are underground, covered drains. We do it and do it well. You know, for a mid-range residential enclave, most developers would do their development as the development, sell and walk away. So these are some of the things I'm bringing into the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association. And now I'm now the
You're the
president.
chairman, the president. Okay.
The Real Estate Association. We are trying to open a new chapter, and we want to do things and do it well. It is from where I am coming from. I try to inculcate that in every piece of space I enter. So, by and large, yes, because I believe in the point that you brighten your color,
The corner where you are.
and then also you try as much as possible to let your actions rub off the people you come into contact with.
Impressive. And you talking about doing it and doing it well. It takes my mind to technology and sustainability. You know, you are reshaping real estate. And I'm happy that you are the president of GREDA now, the Ghana Real Estate Development Association. Let's talk about what excites you about the future of Ghana's cities. Are we moving into smart cities? And have you started though?
So our next project will be the 15-minute city.
15 minutes?
Yes, so
tell us about it.
15-minute city is a gated enclave or an estate that has every single thing you need within 15 minutes of a bike ride. So when you want to go to the bank, when you want to go to the hospital, when you work within the space,
It's all within the
all within
radius.
15 minutes radius within a bike ride. So these are some of the things. This is our new project. That is what is.
When are you hitting ground with that?
Hopefully in the next year, somewhere around September next year.
Impressive.
That's what we want to do. But if you ask me about sustainability, it's a challenge. We like to throw words around in this country.
Is Ghana ready for that from where you sit?
So that's why I'm saying it's a challenge. We like to throw words around and make it our everyday jargon without really practicing it. And that's the difficulty. We are not ready. A few companies are doing it, but in isolation is a difficulty because you need to merge that with also the environment, our agriculture. You know, we are into agriculture in a big way too.
That's right. We'll come to that.
So you need to merge all that and do it in such a way that you can get results. But you see, when you throw words around, when you hear that there is money in sustainability and therefore you go after the money, as my father would always say, you make a shipwreck of your own faith. You know, so you need to understand it. You need to practice it. Yes. So to be very honest with you, as it is always the case, we are aware of the word sustainability, but are
throwing it out
we
there, but
practicing
really,
it? I would say no.
Now that you are the president of GREDA, is that going to be an agenda you're going to champion? Because that's where the world is going green, sustainable economies, and all of that. Is that part of your agenda, though?
In fact, what is more important to me is affordability. We do that before
sustainability.
Yes, or maybe side by side.
Okay.
But affordability is what is very important. Look, 1.7 million homes deficit. People who are mid-level bankers, mid-level journalists, don't have their own places to live, can't rent decent accommodation. That is an indictment on this nation.
Does that get you worried? It used to be 1.2, now it's ballooned to 1.7, like you're saying. And people just cannot get decent homes, a one-bedroom. And even if it's available, the cost of it is outrageous.
So I have what I see all the time, and sometimes I get under the skins of politicians and other lawmakers and the rest. I always ask the question: how affordable is affordable? Excuse me. If you are doing homes and you are telling me, as some government tried to do, and we're selling affordable homes at $120,000.
Yeah.
How affordable is affordable? But then anybody who can do homes, 1 bedroom studio, 1 bedroom studio, possibly even a 1 bedroom self-contained property that is expandable for say $25,000.
Is that doable?
I'm saying anybody who can do that, I can tell you, Bola, would in the end make a decent margin. And by so doing, would touch so many lives.
That's right. That's right.
And those are things that keeps me awake all the time.
Are you ready for such a partnership? Should government say, look, or some chiefs will come to you and we have the land. We really want to reach out and close that gap. Do a 1 bed for 25,000. Do you have the technology and the know-how to make that possible?
So recently, the Chinese brought a technology. It's called concrete printing. You print concrete as if they are printing paper.
Really?
It's going to bring costs down. We are exploring that. Those are things that we are looking at. The bamboo has an equal, if not a better tensile strength than the iron rod. Those are things that we are looking at. So there are things that you can do to bring down cost. But are we waiting for government, not this government, any government to help? Well, they've not shown the way.
There should be the commitment.
Exactly the point. I was speaking at the Ghana-China summit
Yesterday,
and I said this. I was clear about it. I said we have 1.7 million deficit. The Chinese have done it. When you go to Guangzhou, amazing properties they are building. Bring your technology. Come join forces with us. Let's make an impact. What does it profit a man? At this point in my life, you need to change the status quo. You need to do something that you'll be known for. And those are things that keeps me awake. For me now, it's not about what I will eat. That one, my God has blessed me.
It's about touching lives and creating impact.
Creating wealth.
Wow.
Impacting people. Letting people look at the sky. It's so big. You can't have it all.
Right.
So you need to have that in your mind. And with such a mindset, you can sleep at night.
I love that. You're a deep thinker. I dare call you a philosopher. I think that's what you are. And sitting down with you, I just get it. Maybe it's from the schools that you studied at. You went to St. Augustine's, KNUST. You've gone to Oxford and the University of Hertfordshire. I mean, how has your academic journey shaped your business mindset?
So truth be told, education will broaden your mind. It is the knowledge you also pick up when you are growing up, and then also when you are in your adult life. That would really, really give you the path to prosperity. The greatest place I've ever been, if you ask me, has been and is still Adabraka.
Adabraka.
Yes.
What is with you and Adabraka? I know there's the members pub, there's the
Adabraka will teach you that a handshake is the rule of the game, and
it's better than a written contract.
It's not better than that, but it's a quicker way of making an agreement, and then also you learn from people who have been there, and either they are still succeeding, they've succeeded, or they failed and failed miserably. All forms.
All found in Adabraka.
Yes.
It means that you are a man of the streets and in the boardroom.
Yes, I am a man of the streets. I'm a man of the streets, and I've learned a lot
on the streets.
A lot deep
than you would have gotten in the school.
Yes.
Wow.
And that honesty is important. It's the network we build that is important. The kind of when I became man of the year, the organizers said they've never seen anybody that had so many people following him onto the days like that.
You're a man of the people.
So they said, I'm a man of the people. I didn't even know.
Wow.
But that will tell you. And the sense of belonging and the sense of camaraderie I learned from America. From St. Augustine's College, where I learned that learning and also socializing were two important things that go together. I'll come back also to America from my streets, from my days in Wandsworth in the UK, South London, back to America to learn, deepen that.
What is with you and Adabraka? Why did you make that your base and your home? Because I know you have an office there, there's a lounge, you chair a club right there. Why Adabraka? Tell us.
So it would, Adabraka is where people of all minds would gather. All minds, you know. And in all my early years, I would just sit down and listen to stories. You know, I was a boy from a straight, organized home all the way. Then I'll fall into a space that had every kind of person in there. So you learn without practicing even some of the deeds. You learn from just storytelling. That's why they say grandparents are the best form of knowledge. Adabraka is the best form of learning on the streets. You will learn a few things here and there. And because you come to the table with honesty and integrity, a lot of things will fall into place. Of course, it is Adabraka that you will learn that why do you have to worry about your enemy? Your enemy is your enemy. You worry about your friend rather.
Really?
Yes, because
why so?
Because your friend is the one that would surprise you.
Your enemy is
your enemy is already an enemy. Why do you worry about the enemy? You are already conscious of what he can do to you. But the friend that you don't know well, inside out, is the one that can stab you at the back.
Interesting.
These are little things that you learn
on the street.
Shape your life. Yes.
Adabraka, many will say that's where you find the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Exactly so.
I mean, people talk about the drug dens and all of that. Do you get to experience, you know, and people will use drugs and they come face to face with you and all of that you know?
In fact, it's not wholly true. Yes, it is a perception.
Oh, it's a perception. Okay.
It's a perception in Adabraka. All the good men, all the the businessmen who would not talk about school because that's not their strong point.
Right.
You see, that is where you find them. That's where you also learn that your schooling is not the ultimate. That's
right.
Those are the things you learn from Adabraka. You know, you learn those things from there. And I love Adabraka. I still go there anytime. These days, I've become so busy, but I don't want to become like the others. When they find wealth and they
I was coming to that now that you found fame, you found you know, wealth, and you have different set of friends, you don't go to Adabraka like you used to, or?
I do Adabraka 3 times a week if I'm in Ghana. 3 times. And my friends from Adabraka come first when we meet elsewhere. I can be talking to a professor.
Once you see them,
I see another Adabraka boy or a girl. I will have to talk to the person. I value that, you know, and it is important. People make something light of those things, but it's important, you know. Treat people who, when you are climbing, you met very well.
Because these are people that you grew up with. When you are climbing up, they know you. So it's not now that you're actually going to push them to the back bench or anything. No. You are still with them.
I am still.
You sit down, eat with them, drink with them.
Yes, I do that. There are people in Adabraka. I have sent their kids to school, to university. I've employed some of them. You know, I've some people in Adabraka. I would fix their houses for them. Stuff like that.
You're a man for all seasons. And we'll be going for a break shortly. But before that, if you could change one thing about the current housing and rental spaces in Ghana, what would that be and why?
I'll put 2 in 1 sentence. It's the tenancy arrangement. The 1 year, 2 years arrangement is killing. Again, it gets people to be laid back in their work. You've paid your 1 year advance, so you are not thinking till a month to when your rent will be due. But in the UK, it's every month. And so you would look for work.
I love that. So it would even push people to work hard.
That is why that pushes people to work.
Wow.
it will push you to work because you know the next month is coming. But you've done 2 years. So you go to sleep until it's 2 months too. Then you start chasing friends of yours.
Yes.
Bad. Then affordability.
You think Ghana, before staying on the rental, time and all of that, you think that Ghana should move into the 1 month or maybe 3 months advance is better for us, right?
The laws are there.
Yes, but we are not
People are
enforcing
flouting it.
Yeah.
But Ghana, we have every law.
It's the enforcement.
We have the finest laws in Ghana. Finest laws in Ghana. But it's the enforcement. It's a beautiful country. That's what I keep saying. We went to the Ghana Netherlands Business Summit where I speak every year.
Okay.
And then I was trying to get a profound statement across. So Akosha Professor will say, why don't talk about the ball? So I said, well, you have to keep your eye on the ball. But you need to have a ball first. But for me, my ball is Ghana. So you need to keep your eye on Ghana for investment.
Right.
The same way, Ghana is such a beautiful nation. Look, I work across the whole West Africa. We do Côte d'Ivoire, we do Sierra Leone.
Oh, you have offices in Côte d'Ivoire?
Yes, we do Sierra Leone, we Côte d'Ivoire, Sierra Leone. We are building in Bassam in Côte d'Ivoire.
Wow.
We are in Sierra Leone. We just have our licenses to build in Abuja in Nigeria.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Yes, I know West Africa inside out. The finest place to be is
Ghana.
It's Accra, Ghana. Accra, Ghana. Where the police will not stop you because you can't speak English. And little things. The police will not just pull you over and search your car and mess you up just because the police suspect that you're a foreigner. A beautiful city, and so we need to keep our country together. That's what I tell people all the time.
Interesting. Well, we'll go for a break, but before that, as the executive chairman of JL Holdings and president of Greda, how do you balance innovation with responsibility in shaping Ghana's real estate markets? You think that we are innovative enough or bringing up great ideas?
The most difficult industry when it comes to change is the construction industry, is the built environment. Paula, you won't believe it. You can go with someone to a site and the person is trying to hit your wall to see if it's strong enough. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? When people are building with 4-inch blocks, we are doing 6 inches construction. Our buildings are so heavy. They're so heavy. Things like that. But, people have brought styrofoam to try to do construction. They failed miserably. They try to do wood construction. They failed. So it's a difficult space. But slowly, it's a slow process, but it will change. It is changing. But I will be the first to admit that it's difficult. And the balancing, as you say, this is a nation where R&D is lacking.
Yeah, research and development.
Look, we're in Turkey in 2018 thereabout, and a 70-year-old man was taken as around his factory. Bola, believe it or not, we enter a room, 20 or so people, all in top white, down black women and men. And I said, what are they doing? He said, these are my researchers. They are doing, he's into welding. Mehmet, welding. Tell me where you can get an indigenous company that has a good research team in his office. They will tell you it's a waste of money without research and development. That is why if somebody is able to create a machine that pounds fufu on a lighter note, we bring it in on social media. The guy, can you imagine? The people are going to Mars. you are creating a machine that pounds fufu. I'm putting it simplistically, but it is worrying.
You think that we can do better as a people? Many are just thinking of bread and butter and not the bigger things and being innovative. Be sincere. Honestly,
we could have done better. We've not our lights have not shone well. We could have done better, but the point is that, again, it is not only in Ghana. Any nation that has more than enough natural resources does not perform.
That is revealing. Any nation, but it should rather be the opposite.
Because you don't have to think too much. It's true. I'm not being disrespectful, including me. Bola, can I tell you this for the first time? The truth is that that I think I've not done well enough.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where will you put yourself? Yeah, you think you have the potential?
I could have done better.
So where do you stand now? Even with all that you've achieved that we are celebrating, you think that how percentages?
I think 3 out of 10. I think I'm
3. So that's 30%.
Yes,
You're kidding me with all that you've achieved.
Better. Wow, far better.
You think that the environment that you find yourself?
Exactly. I could have done better. I could have done better. I could have built more factories.
Yeah.
I could have employed more people. You know, if I have not done certain things about self.
Yeah. Wow.
Instead of doing it selflessly. And this, I'm not saying in a disrespectful way. I'm thankful to God. Grace has found me. Everything, you know.
You love people. You want to impact. I can see that you wish 90% of your life you were there for people.
Yes, because look at the university where I'm a chancellor.
Yeah.
The Cape Coast Technical University. We are moving from among the best technical universities. We are trying to move to the best. Wow. If you go to my university, you will see it is nice. You will see people appreciate what I'm doing, but I think I could do more.
You're a man of excellence. We'll take that break. When we come back, we'll get to know you the more because you've been on global stages, you've built thriving communities, you've inspired many. But who is the man, Dr. James Ato-Lindsay? When we come back after the break, you have more right here on Star Chat. Right, so some great news from MTN. Looking for a smarter, more secure, and eco-friendly way to stay connected? Well, it's time to live seamlessly. Yes, with MTN's eSIM. Enjoy the ultimate convenience of multiple numbers on one phone. That's great because you get to switch seamlessly without swapping SIM cards and activate it instantly from your home on my MTN app. So you can now experience enhanced security with an embedded eSIM that can't be stolen or damaged. Plus, you get to play your part in contributing to a greener planet. Just dial star #06# to check your phone's eligibility and download my MTN app to go seamless with MTN. And we're celebrating 40 years with Starr Assurance. Starr Assurance is celebrating 40. Yes, 40 reasons to smile promotion is on. From now to the end of the year, you could be one of our many lucky winners to walk away with a whopping cash of 10,000 Ghana cedis in our quarterly draws and a grand prize to enjoy in Dubai. So that's a luxury trip to Dubai. It's simple. To participate, visit our online portal at customer.starassurance.com or you can call us on 0302-751-333 to buy or renew your existing motor insurance policy. Or you can also walk into any of our branches nationwide. Be a lucky winner today with Starr Assurance, your solid partner. And remember, the promotion is in conjunction with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. And MTN is here again with Yellow Thursdays. Yes, your Thursdays just got more exciting because from now on, you get 25% discount on your first data bundle purchase of the day. When you bundle on MTN app, you use *138# this and every Thursday on MTN. So MTN is saying that's not enough for a lovely customer like you. They're offering you free extra movie tickets so that when you pay with Momo, you go to Silverbird Cinemas at Accra and also West Hills Mall for free. For those of you wonderful people in Kumasi, the great garden city, yes, you're getting free tickets as well, only from MTN. So set your reminders. Bundle my MTN on *138# and make the best of your 25% first data. And you know it, it's an MTN Yellow Thursday. You're welcome back. You are on your #1 personality show, Star Chat. And my name is Bolare. Here with Dr. James Ato-Lindsay. Doc, welcome back. So now let's get to meet you. Like I said before the break, you've been out there building thriving communities. You've inspired many. But when the lights are off, who is Dr. James Lindsay? Who are you?
I'm your guy next door.
I love
Just
that.
your guy next door.
Yes.
Nothing special. Your guy next door.
Tell us about growing up. You were born where? You told us about the school, the Catholic,
Yes,
school
yes.
out
So
there.
I was born in Cape Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, then we moved to
Continue, Papa.
Pure, my mother, my father. My father comes from Tamisase, and a stone throw from Tamisase is stark poverty, all behind the castle. So, in one of my articles, I would tell you, I would tell them that look, I would have been the guy pulling the net,
Had
but
not
for
been
my
Grace.
father.
Oh,
Yes,
but
so
for your father.
My father, Grace has found me, so I don't take it lightly.
Wow.
So from there we come to Kufuorida for a short time. My father, because my father mixed politics with business. That's why I don't do that.
You don't mix politics with business.
So it gives.
You're not a card-bearing member of any party.
No. It
Really?
gives. No, it gives you. It gave him a lot of problems. But it's good. The mistakes of the father.
Right.
The fathers would guide you going forward. And so his politics would give him a big ego. So I have 10 of the ego is the enemy here. Okay. So when I have an issue, when people have an issue in my office, in the company that I've built, I give it to them, go and read and come back. Ego is man's biggest enemy. So I learned to keep my ego down because of my father. These are things that I'll learn. So I'll go to Madonna School, Catholic school. I'll do St. Peter's Secondary School, where the German Catholics will teach you to just learn.
So you were in St. Peter's from 1 to 5? Oh, so you did August school upper 6. Okay. Sixth form actually.
Sixth form.
Lower 6 and upper 6.
Yes, but then the Orleans-Lindsay or the Hamka-Lindsay, Orleans-Lindsay, the Selby's, they are big families.
Okay.
Every Orleans-Lindsay is related. And so St. Augustine's will accept me as if I went to 1 to 5. I blended in quickly.
How was life at St. Peter's like? You're a Pescuba.
It's pure.
Which house were you in?
Claver house.
Clubhouse.
Claver.
Okay.
Claver. It's pure learning.
Okay.
Pure learning. There was no social. And you see, we had a bit of a superiority mentality. We had everything in St. Peter's. The German Catholics have brought everything. Then, Ply school and everything. In St. Augustine's, no. There's Philanthropy, there's a disco.
Yeah.
Everybody is everybody. The greatest thing you have in the central region, especially Cape Coast, is anybody your age group is your mate, whether it's in Philanthropy or Gasco or everything. So you go to the passport office. He says, I was in Augusta, I was in Philanthropy. Things get done to you because of the network.
That's right.
I love St. Augustine's the same way I love St. Peter's, but 2 different ways.
2 different ways. Okay, so at St. Peter's, you had a nickname. They called you?
Pound Sterling.
Pound Sterling?
Yes. So
I'll
I'll carry it from there to St. Augustine's and all through my life.
Pound Sterling?
Yes.
Why that nickname?
So I would bring some pounds to school because of my parents and all that.
Okay.
St. Augustine's as well, and so it will stick. Then you go on holidays. You go, Bola, let me tell you this.
Yes.
People will feel that when I come back from vacation, these are monies that my parents will give me to just come and spend. No, I will go and hide. My friend Kofi Ashaba will say, as for pounds, when he gets to London, he has no address. I have no telephone number. I just go back to IBM, where I would later work.
Wow.
Go and slave it away and get enough money to come. But naive as I was then, will come and just spend it anyhow. But that was growing up.
Growing up, yes.
So it was all nice there. Then I'll go to UST.
Yes.
Where some of the things that really excites me now when I think about it was, apart from the nightclub and everything, when you are from the lecture theater section, that we call the Mecca coming, and then you see the VC in his car. That time it was Professor F.O. Kwame.
Okay.
And then you wave him and he waves back.
It gave you some fulfillment, eh?
I'm telling you. So these days, when I've told my EA at the universities free. I said free. You see the people all hiding in the classroom and watching me.
Wow.
It was the reverse.
That is life.
And I know the feeling. They said the Chancellor is here. You know, those are things that you think about and you see
Priceless.
that it's priceless.
That's right.
So I always want to be able to make an impression, a good impression upon them.
Wow.
I have about 10,000 students.
Wow.
I have people I went to uni with as professors in the same school. I'm a chancellor now and everything.
That is Cape Coast Technical University College, right?
No, it's Cape Coast Technical
University. Okay.
It's a full university.
It's a full university
They're
now.
40 years old.
Wow.
So you can imagine, it makes life is interesting. So, well, from there, I would go back to the UK. I work for IBM a bit for 14 months only. That's the longest I've worked for anybody.
14 months.
Yes, and then I'll come back.
And then
to
come
Ghana.
back and work on your own.
Yes, etc. But
So life at KNUST. Which hall were you?
the famous Katanga.
Katanga. Oh,
Yes.
so really?
Katangi.
Katangi, really?
Yeah.
And how was
I'm a fellow. I'm a fellow.
sharp.
I'm
So you used to be involved in all those activities.
Everything.
You know how to sing the songs.
Oh my God.
Really?
My God. Obi Kase.
Yes.
Odo Katanga.
na onye.
Oyo Jorofo.
Wow. You
Usro
did it.
Pondina.
Usro Pondina.
So because Odo Katanga.
Yes.
Na Usro Pondina. No your Jorofo.
Is that where you met your first lady?
Katanga Odon. Na Otainu.
That's right. Is that where you met your lady?
No.
You had a girlfriend before KNUST?
Yeah, no, KNUST there. It's a.
No, I'm saying you had a girl in Oga school.
Oh, girls' school, yeah, Charlie.
Your girl was where? Which school?
Holy Charlie, want to know her?
I'm robbing some booze. Is she still around? You guys
No,
still
she's
meet?
in the States, so.
Oh, she's in the States.
Yeah,
Do you
she's
meet
married.
often?
Yeah, no,
I can see you're blushing now. Why you have some
no,
memory?
I don't meet. I
Is
don't
she
meet
married?
often, but she's married. She has
Oh,
kids.
okay. So you moved on.
No, moved way. No.
So from Holiko, you moved to KNUST. You
Yes.
had another one there.
Oh, by all means. It's a way of life.
Then
University
you've been
life.
around.
Oh my boy.
Eh.
Don't worry. That was. I don't deny things.
Of course, you
It's
shouldn't.
important.
Yes, important. So, who was that guy on campus? I mean, at Orleans-Lindsay on KNUST campus. You had a car back then on campus.
No, that time it was only few people. Not now that everything
Really?
is. Not few people. Hey, it's not easy. You can't do everything, but you know.
Wow.
But then my guys had cars. Kofi
Okay.
Ashabo, Akwesima.
What was the happening thing in Kumasi in terms of the nightlife and entertainment?
Dim lights.
Dim lights. It was a nightclub.
Yeah, heavy.
Oh, okay.
Then Foxtrap 2
Right.
was around, and you know. But then we did a lot of
On
jamming
campus.
on
jam.
campus. I used to go out. If my mother had known, she would kill me. I used to go out almost every night.
Almost every night you were out.
Yeah. Every night with
And
my,
biochem students.
and that is a fact. With my friend Dibangu, Kwame Aduma, every evening.
To where?
Apart from Monday, you club Monday to Saturday, sometimes Sundays.
Wow.
Yeah, I like. But then we played hard, and then we
studied your books.
Oh, I'm telling you, it was amazing play. My best times in life had been on the UST campus. Wow. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Without Kane.
How so? Yeah.
You don't have any burdens on you, nothing much
Yeah.
to think about. Everybody knew that time we were only 4,500.
Right.
Now it's 80,000. Can you imagine?
Wow. Look at
You
it.
knew everybody. So we'll do nightclub. We knew everybody. And we'll go to the UK together to go and work.
Right.
You know, we will travel even during the Christmas holidays to go and work. You know, and you see the interesting thing for me personally, these were times I was shaping my own life and my mental toughness.
Yeah.
People think I'll go to Pounds and John Adams. They just came back from.
George was your mate, right?
Yes, they just came back from the UK.
UK, yeah.
No, well, I don't know about them. Although we're very close. As for me, I'll go and hide and do my work and get some money. So because that is where I built the financial freedom mentality.
Wow.
You know, I always want to have something there somewhere, and that is it's really shaped
Shaped you.
my thinking.
What keeps you waking up every morning with fire in your soul? Because anybody, when I spoke to people, I was coming to conduct this interview, everyone say you're diligent, you're forthright, you're straight to the core. You love to work, you play hard, and you work hard. What drives you?
In fact, I wake up every day with so much energy in my legs because of the fear of not able to feed myself the next day. You will say, but how come? Yes, no. It's a fear that is ingrained in me mentally, in my mind, in my mind's eye. That, as the Bible say, a little sleep,
Yes.
folding of the arm, and poverty will overtake you. Look, I can tell you, friends of mine who thought they had arrived, and now, that aside, I get worried with the youth unemployment. Look, if you drive around in the night as I do, because I get home sometimes after 9, after 10 to 11, at our intersections, that is a national security issue waiting to happen. The boys there, the next thing they will do, you have no idea. If you go to Sao Paulo in Brazil, the rich are rather caged, and the poor are outside the cage because they have high walls all around there. It's very, very high. In fact, they check the atmosphere in town before they go out. So we need to tackle. Those are things that concern. It concerns me so much that sometimes I wish I had the power to just create businesses, employ more people, and then make sure that at least enough people have food on their table. So these are things that will keep me awake. As for the other things, I think it will take care of itself. So I don't worry too much.
Interesting. And now let's talk about JL Holdings. How many companies do you have under the holding company?
At present, we have over 14 companies.
14?
Yes, and counting.
Can you indulge us? I mean, I know you are into agriculture, aquaculture. What are the companies?
So in fact, they're interesting, and for every company, there's an interesting story. There's JL Bakery.
Wow.
We do bakery on the Spintex Road.
Okay.
One of our accountants, young lady, said, "Listen, can't we do bakery?" And
it's good business, right?
And there's money in flour because a client came to buy from us.
Okay.
And the story is that he would always bring money that's stuck together. So this young lady said, "Chairman, this money, I can't count it too because I don't know where it is from." And I also said to her, don't bring it to my office, take it to the bank straight away. Ghanaians and all spirituality.
Yeah.
So the guy comes, and then this naive young lady will say, my chairman says he won't touch your money, and that the man will laugh and say to her, tell your chairman, it's all flour. That's why the money is stuck together.
Wow.
And that there's money in flour, there's money in bakery. I said to her, if you can do it, go ahead. The man had bought 4 houses from us before.
Wow.
He does bread. So that's how JL Bakery will come out. Then there's the JL security, obviously.
Right.
From our problems with security and everything. We thought we wanted to create it and then be able to manage it. Then we'd have all in construction that does all our construction for us. Headed by one of our men. It's all a standalone company. Okay. Then there's the JL Foods. We sell fresh produce from.
Oh, so that's different from JL Bakery.
Yes,
JL Foods.
JL Foods. We sell fresh produce from the farmland, from the farm. Anywhere you put yourself from the farm gate to the market gate, you
are in that
money.
chain. Wow.
Anywhere you put yourself, people don't know. I don't see why you have to change money to go and buy clothing from Turkey, $20,000. You bring and you bring it down, and then you have problems with your friends because Bola said he would buy a suit, and then when the suit came, he said he has other things and all that. Anywhere you put yourself,
in that value chain,
anywhere,
farm gates right there to the there's
other
money.
transportation. You don't need to farm. You can just go and buy the produce, come repackage nicely, seal it, take it to the market somewhere. You have added value just by cleaning it up and repackaging, branding nicely. So instead of going to stand by somebody's Range Rover and say, "Oh, how God has blessed me," which is not true. Get yourself to work. If you don't want people to see.
And you are saying that with $20,000, one can just add value to farm produce and then you are in business.
Why not? You wake up early morning and you go to a Brie or Mampong. The farmers are there. They want people to buy. They are not marketers. You buy in your small car that you used to sell your dresses. Come back to your house early morning, clean it nicely, package it well. By 12 o'clock, you are done. You don't want people to see you are farming because you flexed and your flex cry is killing you. You okay? Do this. Practicals, you know the Ghana cedi is one of the few currencies in the world that is not 100% convertible. By that I mean how you buy a US dollar and how you sell it are two different prices. So there is always a loss in between. So even going to buy the US dollar to transfer to Turkey, and then when you come back, you sell and you are changing back to the US dollar, you lose money. In Europe, when you are changing euro, it's the same whether you are buying or selling.
True.
The person will just take a commission. So why do you want to put yourself through this? When these are simple things, that's why I say to people, simple things. Last time I was saying it at the Ghana-China summit, and afterwards I had about 30 people coming to me. I said to them, why do we have to go and beg somebody who is at war for grains and say, can you help me? Ukraine, can you help me? Can you sell more grains to me? Look at our land. So I said, I have a paper I've authored. I say in the paper, the very main point, call 300-400 people, top businessmen, to the conference center. Throw a challenge to them. That 400 people you can find on the Ghana CEO network. Is a
database that you can get.
Top businessmen. See, everybody do 100 acres. Wow. Government will buy. Do you know we are owing the ECOWAS buffer stock?
Yes,
grains.
yes.
We went to borrow grains. They are looking for their grains.
Yes.
In 3 years, will be grain sufficient. You take it. You take it a step at a time.
Dr. Lindsay, why are we not speaking truth to power and some of these great ideas? Why don't we bring the community together to act? People like you, look at the knowledge, look at what you said, and we'll actually be dependent on ourselves.
You know, these things I'm saying, when I get to my office, some of my senior managers will tell me, Chairman, but why are you talking this way?
Yeah.
We don't want any trouble. Please stay in your corner.
So they feel that there will be the politics to it.
Yes, I mean, they've told me many times. I said, but I'm saying it's all pure
it doesn't
business.
depend like the government in power.
Yes.
You feel that the nation needs that.
But my people, you know, some of them have been with me 9 years, 10 years. They came out of uni fresh after service, some of them. Look, they've given me 10 years of their life. Why would you go and make noise and then
bring
spoil,
attention?
Their trajectory that they say to me? And I'm a listening person, you know. So I say things very advisedly, and I choose my words very carefully.
But you believe hand to heart that Ghana, if we should call 100 businessmen and put them to work, will actually be self-sufficient in terms of...
One of the things that a businessman cannot stand is cannot stand, for want of a better word, is competition. You throw a competition to businessmen.
So give them a challenge and say...
And then after, buy the grains from them. Put it at the buffer.
Because that buffer stock, now we supply rice to school, sugar and all, and we have to import.
Tell them they have done it before. A farmer should not be a hands-on farmer.
Right.
A farmer can be a good manager, farm manager. And those are, you see, we don't have to invent the wheel. But then, if you want to move from, you know, now everybody's shouting AI and
artificial intelligence,
on top of the table and all. Look, you can't be in class 6 and do university exams. I tell people, If not past class
We are not
6,
there yet.
start systematically.
Right.
Use rule of law. Why should somebody cross the traffic light and then call somebody in the house because he's a party person and say, Chairman, oh, make sure red lights move. What is this?
Wow.
My daughter Diamond will say, Papa, what is this? When she doesn't understand something.
I love your resilience and your adaptability within yourself and your teams and with what you do. But still on the path of entrepreneurship, I mean, many people will tell you that, oh, it's difficult, I can't get into it, and I can't balance profit with purpose. How have you been able to do it?
It's keeping your mind on the job all the time. Look, there are days I sit in my office alone, I'm down, and then somebody will come and say, Chairman, why are you so quiet?
Yeah.
It's because I'm not able to balance the system. But then the next day I'll move on.
Okay.
That is life.
That is the resilience many would want to, because there are many, folks out there you meet every day. Oh, I've started this juice business. Oh, I've started this, textile business. I'm actually into fashion. I've set up this small, business into makeup, and I want to make up celebrities. But it's difficult. I'm having challenges and all of that. What advice do you have for the youth who are into that? Some are into buying and selling. They sell clothes on the side and all of that. But they feel that it's challenging and they can't scale.
Well, 22 years of my life to get to this stage. 22 years.
Wow.
Working day in, day out. 22 years of my life.
You think that many of the youth, they don't have the willpower and the patience.
Is the Patient consistency. And you need to be intentional about whatever you are doing. Bola, you are one of the finest, if not the finest, because you are intentional. You need to be concise. You need to be. It has to be a willful act. And that's what I do every day.
Many want to see that success overnight, a year, 2. So you see many people on the 3rd year that they just give up.
I'm telling you, that just about the point that they will break even, they give up.
Wow.
We started farming 3 years ago, and we have huge farms in Ghanaian context, and we are going to do more because I've been intentional about it. I've been precise, specific, because I want to employ more people. But then I didn't start by saying I'm doing a farm. Immediately I'm doing semi-processed produce, and then no, it's gradual. We are doing economic trees. We have a huge dam, 70 square acres of fresh water that we dammed, and that's one of my pride when I see the dam, because we use it to do irrigation. Can you imagine, Bola, when you own a dam?
that is
somebody.
That is
something
something else.
UK, somebody has a small side pool. They have a pool. Look,
this is a dam,
and it's 70 square acres.
That is huge.
Yes, in Adiemra we do corn, we do cassava, we do veg, and all that. We are doing to poultry. We are doing poultry. So we are doing a complete cycle. So the droppings from the poultry comes to our vegetable farm. Our corn goes to
I think you should sit down with the Greek ministers. I mean, the main minister and his deputy, because the kind of ideas and what you want to do for the economy, they should be sourcing from you. You are into a whole lot.
So then when someone says this, and then my staff, they'll come to you and say, Chairman, let's stay in our corner. They will find us. They will find us as they found me.
Yes.
Sometimes
you also have to reach out.
I've been in my space
corner,
longest.
Yes.
But when people started to find me,
they came
back to back.
Yes. Yeah.
You see,
so that's what you want to do with this sector.
So now, at the agri sector, there are several things they do in the year. They do the agri fair. And so the time will come.
The time will come. Indeed. Ever been a point in your life where you felt like, what is this? I want to give up. Challenges started. Ever gone through the storm?
So I lost a lot of money at $1.something million. The guy
$1.what million?
$1.3 million. I paid for a land, and then it was a scam. Wow. I pride myself among the people that will be called if they want 5 or 10, maximum 10 people to talk about a history of a land in Accra. So I fell on a sword that I shouldn't. But then even that then I didn't give up. Now, up to today, I'm still paying because I didn't want to pay from my company's funds.
Wow.
So they deduct me end of the month every time.
$1.3 million.
Yes,
You lost it
2014, so 11 years ago. Wow. I've never found the guy. So every time I tell people, when it's too good to be true, then it's not true. That's where
Did that nearly break you?
nearly, because I was so shocked that this thing would happen to me. I was totally shocked because
You knew the person, you had done your DD, your due diligence.
I did everything. He had done this thing through an agent, a realtor, solid guy. The guy was a known person and all that. The real person. He had cloned the land title. So when I did a search on the land title, it came all the way as if the names all right. He had done passports in the names of his brothers, his siblings, all done. He had driving licenses in all that, a double ID for every person, well crafted. I only found out when I went onto the land. So when it's too good to be true, it's not true.
What was running through your mind? Now there might be somebody watching and going through a phase. Maybe that person has lost 10,000 cedis, 100,000. It might not be much to us now, but for them, that is a life savings, and he or she is going through a phase. What is that advice? What kept you during those times when you lost $1.3 million?
Bola, you would never say it is not much. The widow's mite.
That's right.
Is always important. So somebody doing egg business and losing the whole pan on his head or her head, you can imagine. All I say to people like that is that you never know tomorrow, so you soldier on. So important. You have to create the grit and zeal in you. People come to me telling me their story in all tears, they weep, and then they go away all emboldened. Look, colleague developers will come to me and say, listen, it's all bad news. This, I want to leave. I want to go back to the States. I want to go back. Recently, one of my colleagues came to me and said, listen, don't worry. So I stopped everything on the weekend, drove through the rain with my assistant Richmond. We went to his site, saw what he's done, saw the latent wealth he had there, although 10 years he's not sold and everything. When I was going, Bola, I nearly wept.
Wow.
He knelt down in the mud and said, you have really changed my mind. My wife and kids are not minding me. They are in France.
Wow.
He knelt in the mud. I said, wake up. He said, even for me to stop everything and come to, but I did it without any
strings
thoughts.
attached.
No, I said I had to go. Is that when I told him, he came to me, he said, here. When I said I will visit his site on Saturday, he said, Chairman can never come. Look, he has too much on his plate. There's a funeral, maybe here and there. When I got there, I gave him good advice. Do A, do B, do C.
And he's grateful.
He said he's shocked that I did that. Those are the things that gives me fulfillment.
And that's why I spoke about it, that, your passion, the love that you have for people, being there for them. And it leads me to the JL Foundation. You are investing in education, community development. What drives your passion of giving back to people?
Those are the
society.
When I say this, then you get the negative questions and the negative suggestions coming. What makes me happy, Bola, in all honesty, is when I touch lives.
Wow. You're blessed.
Someone will come to you and say, my mother is sick, my father, my son has this, my daughter has. Of course, people will spin me sometimes, but it's up to you. For me, if I'm able to provide, that is all. We are into provision of healthcare. We do we do maybe one block every 2 years. When the guy had his accident in Trede, we built the house for him for free. You know, the amputated guy. Yeah, we did a complete house for the guy in Trede, contributed towards a shop for the mother, complete furnished house. Wow. And then we do blocks, emergency blocks, mail.
You've done any of our hospitals here in Accra?
Yes, we did at Chimota, you know.
Oh, okay.
In 1938, that was the time they built Chimota emergency ward. So my late mother would go and see it. And then we say, listen, Atu, let's do it. We built it, handed over to them.
The Chimota emergency ward?
Yes, modern with all oxygen, everything and all, everything you can think of. Would hand over to 2023 in November or December. But unfortunately, that's the block emergency ward that killed my mother.
Oh, the same block
because my mother would be rushed from here, and instead of taking her to UGMC, we said, but we've done this. She collapsed here in the office on a Friday. We rushed her there. I said that's the emergency ward that killed her because we rushed her there. And from November that we had handed over to March, although we had given the emergency,
it was fully equipped when you handed over.
Everything it had not been operationalized.
What?
And you know, when you take a patient to a hospital, once the patient enters their box, you have to get a release letter to.
No. So this is very interesting.
Yes, I've said it a couple of times.
In November, you handed over the hospital to Achimota Hospital.
In December.
In December.
Yeah. 15th.
The emergency block.
15th, yeah.
From between December and when?
March. It has not been operationalized. In fact, the painful thing was that the matron was on holiday and I put the keys in her bag and gone with it.
Oh, Ghana.
I wrote all the letters in the world. It's in my safe now. One day I came to work and then I said, forget it. I will not. I wrote the letters to everybody, to the Director General.
An emergency unit that you had actually.
My mother actually initiated it, contributed from the Lindsay Foundation. She was the chairperson.
Wow.
And you know, my mother had. So by the time we moved her from that place, of course, when we went to the old section, the doctors did all they can.
Yeah,
amazing doctors there on that night. When they saw even that this is Mrs. Lindsay, Elizabeth Lindsay, and all that, they were very well. But then the oxygen was in a casket that was being wheeled all over. You know, and sometimes it was not even operational and all that. No fault of theirs. So what happened was that by the time we got to UGMC, my mother had severe hemorrhage.
Continue.
The first 30 minutes when you have, you collapse when you have a hemorrhage is the most important.
Crucial. Yes.
So my mother, every time I say, my mother had died out of her own goodness.
Oh.
Because if not for that hospital, they would have driven her straight here. But then, anyway, so let me be honest with you. After all this, it was all operational, everything. 3 months ago, they will come back to us to say, oh, we need the place to be renovated. So the Lindsay Foundation would gather everything.
You went back to
We've renovated it now. It's there. We just finished about a week or so ago. We went back to do it. Wow. Can you imagine? The same place, they had the audacity to come back to us. What? So the Lindsay Foundation, now led by Joanna Mwafubuedu, Mrs. Joanna, went back. I signed on it in the payment. They went back.
Why did you do that? This is a place that let you down, and many will say, well, why do you maybe go to another hospital or
we are building another one at the Cape Coast Metropolitan Hospital in Cape Coast for them. We will be able to do it handover next year. But you know, it is really not.
It's for the people.
It's not for individuals. It's for the people. For me,
that is why
I do good because not because I'm a good person,
right,
but it's because goodness comes from my heart.
I love that,
and I try to inculcate that in the people I work with. For me, Righteousness is of God, not of man.
Not of man.
Exactly.
Indeed. You've received the Order of the Volta, multiple CEO awards. Which honor means most to you? I mean, Ultimate Man of the Year now, Man of the Year at the Emmys, Emmy Africa. Which one means the most to you and why?
In fact, what means the most to me, in all sincerity, is rather the university I lead.
The university, as the Chancellor
because
of the Cape Coast Technical
this
University.
Is thousands of people I lead. My life, I've always said, I want my life to be an example for the students and lecturers I have there. It gladdens my heart when I get calls from them. Chancellor, you've changed our university.
Wow.
You are really giving us somebody to look up to. Those are things that really
They are very heartwarming and
gladden my heart.
What one personal habit or mindset will you say has been key to your success?
It has always been being focused. Being focused on whatever you are doing.
And outside the boardroom and all of that, how do you recharge, relax, and reconnect with yourself? What do you do?
I like sitting down and creating, messing people up.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, I like to make fun of a lot of people.
The fun thing you
yes,
brings
I like
out.
to,
Okay.
I like to pull people their legs.
Their legs,
over.
yeah.
Sometimes I go overboard and people will not talk to me for a while.
Oh, really?
So I have to.
You're married.
You've
Been married for how many years?
20 years.
20. Congratulations. How many children?
3.
3. Wow. Any of them taking after you?
And then one step.
Okay, one step.
So
okay.
4.
So
kids.
4. Any of them taking after you?
I don't know because nobody.
You don't engage them.
No. I want. If you want to be an artist, be an artist.
Okay. You're not liberal.
No, you're very, very liberal. I don't push people into because it's the surest way to fail. Bola, I don't see my son who is 17 now, or my stepson who is 35 now, and then coming back in here and to say that look. He's the CEO and then he's taking over. And then before long you say he's shouting on somebody and slapping somebody down there. Meanwhile, these are people I've worked all my life.
Wow.
They've tied their cloth to mine.
Yeah.
And therefore I have pulled them along. They could have been somewhere else, although
But
I still think
yeah.
at JL, when you come, you don't leave. They've given their life to me. Why don't you give them the chance?
Right.
Let them also do something else.
Okay.
If they show interest, why not? But I don't believe in people saying, "Oh, my son has come back from Harvard. He's now the general
Yeah, but
manager."
no.
Surest way to fail. Before you hear that he's creating problems on the shop floor
Right.
or the factory floor,
Yeah.
it'll be
Your
6
business
months.
one. Yeah.
He's throwing his weight about, not knowing. Every business has a culture.
That's right.
Here we have the JL culture. People work Saturdays, Sundays, and not think about overtime.
Yeah. Right. It's like a family.
It's a family. So you bring
You don't bring
you bring your family
somebody in
member
there,
in
yeah.
there. He's come back from Oxford, and then he's going to do a few things. Yes, he might bring a lot of efficiency and everything, but then also you need to look at
work culture.
the business fiber, the moral fiber of your organization. It could be broken like that.
What kind of father are you?
I'm a loving father. My daughters, my 2 daughters, would be all over me. I have names for all of them.
Wow.
I have West Africa's finest diamond, who is very, very beautiful.
How old is she?
She's 6. She'll be 7 next
Wow.
February. Goldie, who I think is.
Oh, you have diamond, you have gold.
Which is so intelligent. But sometimes I would disappoint them, and when they see me coming late, they'll start to shout, "Papa is a chancellor," because I'm going to use my chancellor
Yes,
as an excuse for me.
Right.
And so these are things.
What kind of husband are you? You think, be sincere, that you are really there for your wife as you should?
All the time.
All the time.
All
Wow.
the time. Sometimes I think that I
You
overdo it. Yeah.
Wow. Are you romantic?
My romantic nature is quite different.
Okay, tell us.
For me, I am not the overly in my.
You don't show affection.
I don't show too much affection. I show it the other way by
Where the other way is what?
by providing
Okay.
everything she needs.
Is there?
Because she looks after the kids. I do all her rounds for her personally. She runs about 8 shops.
Wow.
I make sure that the accountants are checking all that. Those are the things I do best.
You're not the dinner type where, oh, let's go for dinner or lunch.
She likes dinners.
Do you do that? Do you have time
occasionally do that? It's occasional.
Will you wish to do more?
I wish I could do more, and I continue to do more. But again, to that aspect of my life comes from my upbringing.
Okay.
My grandmother would tell me, you are destined to lead.
And provide.
No, you are destined to lead the people, the fanties, and don't show any weakness. Oh. So it was inculcated in here. So I tell her, and even my workers, when I don't show emotions, I say, I wish I could show emotions. So one day.
So it's the upbringing. It was inculcated.
Yeah, someone told me, we need to go to a psychologist. I laughed. I said, the psychologist cannot change this. It's there. It's there.
Interesting.
It's there.
Are you into music? Do you love music right from this part of Ghana?
Bola, I can't sing one song
to save your life.
No,
you can't.
That's even Danasi. I cannot sing it in full.
Yeah, that bad of me. Yes,
I told you from the onset.
So you can't dance.
I can't dance because
you can't sing.
My motor skills are bad.
You can't move. Really?
No, I'm just an average dancer.
You can't sing. So
I used to play tennis well. My son would take tennis after me.
Okay.
They even asked him if he could play tennis professionally. Wow. I said, well, if that would put. Have you seen any black boy getting $1 million?
You'll be the first to get there.
So I said, no, stick to your books.
Wow.
So those are the things, but I am not a
Who's your favorite Ghanaian musician?
Oh, Stone Boy is
my boy. Stone Boy. Why Stone Boy?
Is my boy. Because he brings out genuineness and love. My daughters love Stone Boy.
Wow.
And so Stone Boy is my man. I love him.
You love him?
Yeah.
If all is said and done, what is that one thing that you want to be said about Dr. James Orleans-Lindsay? That you came and did what?
I came and I lived a life worthy of a good man.
Interesting. We'll now go into our mystery questions. So, kindly.
Only one, eh?
No, all 3 of them. So let's see how it goes. Kindly read it out for us.
How do you define success?
Right.
For me, being able to provide for a person in need. That is all I talk about.
Interesting. Sweet and simple. The next one is?
If you had the opportunity to advise President Mahama directly, what one bold idea would you propose to help Ghana leapfrog into a new era of prosperity? President Mahama, please apply.
That's the comment.
Please apply the rule of law. Only that, and this nation will change in 6 months.
He's a man of few words. The next one. Yes.
Among these Ghanaian leaders, whose leadership style do you admire? Former President J. Kufuor, former President Atta Mills, former President Nana Akufo-Addo.
Right.
Former President J. Kufuor.
Why?
That's why I say, if you are seeking knowledge in leadership, you go to the master.
And J. Kufuor is
the master of leadership.
Of all these 3 men?
Yes.
Why?
He's able to mix everything and stand as if nothing has happened. Let me break it down. So recently I would go to him and say, I said to him, Papa, do you know that the last time you asked me to do this, see somebody to be able to facilitate this for me. And the person, I went to him 3 times. He didn't really mind me. And I didn't want to come to you because I thought it was too much. So he goes like, what? You should have come to tell me. Actually say, because I would not have allowed this. Meanwhile, I knew very well that he was even the one who said you should not mind me, but you should not. So that's how the balancing act that you do as a leader.
Wow.
You need to be able to manage.
He told the person not to mind.
No, man, because what I'm saying does not add up. You know. Then I was.
But he was able to manage.
Yes, I was so young. It was 2002, 2003. He knew very well I would not be able to do what I was saying, but he managed it in a very, very nice way. And now I never had any beef with him. Fast forward, he was able to tell me, what? You should have come to tell me A, B, C, D. So you see, a good leader is a person who brings all the people with the great minds, with all the competing egos together to get a good result out.
And Kufuor is that leader. President Kufuor.
President Kufuor is that leader. Amazing person.
Do you think that in the Fourth Republic he's the best president that we've had?
Fourth Republic.
Yes, from 92 till now.
For me, for now, he ranks among he's up there. He's up there. I'm waiting for President Mahama. He started very, very well. I like what he's doing. I think it will end also very well for him.
What is your biggest fear in life as we wrap it all up? What are you afraid of in life?
The fear of losing it.
The fear of losing it. Does it cross your mind?
Yes, it does. And then I would share with one or two people. I mean, obviously the closest person to me is Akosi Apoma. And then she'll go and say, "Oh, Chema, you are joking." I said, "No, it's a fear I have inwardly. Every
fear of losing it."
Yes, no, but the thing is that I have very little fear in this world. Apart from my God I serve, I fear very little. So for me to say I have the fear of losing, because can you imagine from here all the way to Tamale, across to Cote d'Ivoire, Abidjan, all the way to Sierra Leone, to the UK where we do small business. We are into real estate in business in the UK. All these places, look at across where when my farm assistant, I call them farm assistants, some people have been working for 2-3 years. When they see me, they put the cloth on the ground for me to walk over.
Wow.
And not because they are hero worshipping me, but because they are telling me how satisfied they are.
You are impacting their lives, obviously.
And then all this one day, I say I cannot pay them again. Can you imagine? And it can
you employ close to how many people now?
Over 1,000 people.
1,000?
Yes. I asked that they check because I knew this day would come. So 3 weeks ago, I wanted to be sure for somebody not to tell me.
I know the payroll.
Yes, so I said, we do wages and salaries.
Right.
So, look,
over 1,000
my
people.
farm hands alone. Like, and we've paid them consistently over several years.
Wow.
You know, so can you imagine all these people and then tomorrow?
One day you say you are not in business. It means that because other people also depend on them. So apart from the 1,000, you have maybe, if each has about 3, just imagine, you alone shouldering about 3,000 lives.
You know, the number of people who've come to me recently to say, Chairman, why don't you scale down? I say, scale down for what? The day I say I'm scaling down,
you're out of business.
Yes.
So, and that is why I'll come to your quotes as we wrap up. And you saying that life is akin to musical chairs. It's wise to secure your spot before the music halts. How profound and epic.
Yes.
So it means that you should always be on the move in life. It's like musical chairs. Secure your spot before the music halts.
It's very, very important.
Wow.
I point it to people when they are going out of my office. I say, read this. Read this because it's important. And I have I have a ball already.
Wow.
My ball is gone. I tell people, I was explaining to one of my mentees, I said, look, where do you want to go to Sierra Leone? Madabio is my very good friend.
I've seen a picture of you. And
he came here.
He came? Oh, wow. The president of Sierra Leone.
Yes, I could write a note for you to go and see him. But the economy is at $8 billion a year economy. Sierra Leone is at $10 billion or vice versa, something like that. Ghana is $19 billion a year industry, economy. Why do you want to go to somewhere you don't know anything about? Why don't you stay here? Start here, then scale up.
That's Interesting. It's been a wonderful time.
Yes.
Great time well spent with you.
It's always good to talk to you, Bola.
Always a pleasure.
Always good.
And this is your camera. I want you to, and I'm doing this for the first time on my show because I want you to be that romantic man and talk to your wife. This is the camera for her. And we want you to wrap up by saying something sweet to her. What's her name again?
Nanama.
Nanama. So, madam, this is your husband.
Nanama, thank you for everything. Thank you for looking after the girls for me. Thank you for the hours you spend with Diamond and Goldie. Amazing woman. God bless you. God gives you long life.
Oh, isn't that sweet? Thank you very much. And it's been great having you. We wish you the very best.
Thank you.
And once again, congratulations.
Thank you, Mola.
on all the achievements. And we know that, like you said, this is just 30% of what you want to do.
Yeah.
So good at things to come.
Yes.
It's been another great edition of your number one personality show, Star Chat. My name is Bolare. Have a wonderful time and a big thank you as always to my team. See you next week.